Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. Wow, balanced rack, very bingo-y, apart from the J. So, can I get the J doubled? Only by burning the S, so I could play jails for 40 points and wrecking the rack, or I could play Joe for 22 fewer points. But is this rack leave 22 points better than OT? I think it's pretty close, so I am going to go with this, about one square to the left to avoid a vowel next to a premium square. Well, no 7-letter bingo here. I think dogtails is good through an O, but that's likely to be taken. Gladius through an E, so is opponent going to provide any floaters? If not, I have no scoring tiles, but this is a balanced rack, so I'm sure I will be able to play through this. Joe takes a number of back hooks. Great, opponent does provide an E, and that is just what I need for Gladius for 90 points. Oh, and wow. If only every pickup after a bingo was as good as this one, I am surely bingoing again. So, what do I have? Where are the best lanes? Now, no double doubles, triple word squared down from the O. I have opiated as a 7. Is there an 8 beginning with O? I have the out prefix. I feel it would begin OP. Not seeing one. Joe takes an S in front, but a column 6 play wouldn't hit a double word square. Venue takes an A in front. Okay, so 22 for opponents. Column 8 is now available for 9-letter plays. What do I have which goes in front of you? Nothing. Apart from the blank. So G, no. M, no. N, no. Y, no. Now, I'm sure I was looking at something really cool. Oh yes, Avenue. So if I stick an A in there, do I have a play which gets doubled? Well, I do. I have painted. I don't want to put an I underneath a triple letter square before the X has been played. Patined. Perfect, patined. For 80. And wow, another good pick. I may not have a bingo because of the U, but it's jolly close. But do I have one? So I think Toriuli is good. Not sure about that. Opponent changes. Wow. Not having a good game. Nothing, well, just the O which goes in front of you. But oop bingos I'm not familiar with. So I'm not seeing a 7 unless Toriuli is good. And if it's good, that does play. Wow. It plays because of opt. So do I play that? And does it play anywhere else? And does it have an anagram? What about Rotuli? Really not confident about either of those. So what about a play with the G? No, not seeing anything. Anything through the D would open column 15. Anything through the E wouldn't get doubled. And the N isn't available. Row B is a 7-letter lane, but not for Toriuli. Okay, well, let me see if this stays on. And it does. Fantastic. 3 back-to-back bingos and a 200-point lead. So the bingo run ends, but I've got a balanced rack and some scoring tiles. What's best here? Vor is my immediate consideration as a way of getting rid of V and W, but that is going to leave two I's. So I could play view through an E, a V next to, well, I was going to say a V next to this triple word square, not dangerous, but of course a row H play would be available. Now, opponent's blocked that spot. Mange takes an S of the tiles I've got. So, 1V has already gone in venue, and I mention that just because W and H have synergy, so perhaps I can play off W and H and play off V next turn. Or do I use this spot underneath the A? But if I play Vor, I'm keeping a vowel heavy rack with duplicates. That just doesn't feel great. I've got Wave here, which sorts the rack out nicely. H is not a problem tile. It's only 15 points. It's setting up an X spot. Surely I can do better from a score perspective. I've got scoring tiles, and yet I'm only looking at wretchedly low plays. How can I do better? Well, I could play AW. 28 points, that's much closer to the points total I'm looking for. 15 minutes on my clock. Still two Y's to come for BY. Opt only takes an S. I could play Wig. 22 points, keeping Visa. That's not bad. Taking out ING endings, taking out the E. Maybe I should do this. Well, I'm pretty confident this isn't best, but I am going with it. So, not great, but I'm glad I split up the duplicate I's. Otherwise, I would have 3 of them. And I'm grateful for the V because it's a scoring tile. So, void and avoid are the plays which stand out. Still 2 S's to come and a blank, so I could play avoids and opts, which would kill the BY spot. What about a play getting the V tripled? Aviso is good, but I'm looking for a V in first place and then S followed by another tile, and I'm not seeing such a play. Now, this is nice. I can play avoid here for 27 points, taking out a super hot X spot, taking out a G and replacing it with an A, which is not a good transaction from my point of view. I could keep the A on my rack, but there are a lot of A's to come, so opponent might be inclined to use column 2, and this rack leave is better than AIS. 27 points is decent. I am going with this. Wow, more I's. Still 3 to come as well. And I have the Y for... Oh, wow, an opponent's just stolen my spot. Brutal. Just had my eye on that. So, what to do? 25 points for opponent. I lead by 200. I'm in good shape. Still 36 tiles to come. What to do with this Y? It's my only scoring tile. And I'd like to sort out the I as well. So, just looking at this triple letter square, but I'd need a play beginning SY. I don't have one. I have Hori in column 2. Yoni's burning the S and setting up row H, which isn't good. What about Yoni here? Getting rid of precisely the tiles I want to, and wow, look at that. This is a decent 4-letter set, hiding in the midst of my unpromising rack. And I'm not worried about opening row A with this Y. There's only going to be 20 or 30 points on offer. But I love this rack leave. Yoni for 20. So, I have the Z, but do I have a bingo? It looks jolly close. Well, Snazia threw a Z. Azurines threw a U. And Suzerain. Oh wow, I thought I had Suzerain, but Sopt. Not valid at the moment. Torieli doesn't take anything. Zania doesn't take an S. But pretty good rack. I've got ZE in row I. I've got Zine in row D. And Zine isn't terrible because the A of Avoid is preventing a play coming down from that Z. So I feel this is my game. I lead by 200. And I've got a decent rack. But it's not over yet. There's still a blank to come. There are plenty of bingo lanes on the board. But do I have a bingo here? Where are the floaters? There's A. No, there's H. No, there's A and H. I have Shiraz through the H, but that's not a bingo. E. Sneezier is not with an A. V and E. No. N. I would have Rend Ziners through N and D. C. Well, that feels close. Not seeing anything. This U not available for the bingos mentioned. So, D. Oh, wow, 70-point bingo for opponent. Okay, I feel like I would like to come back with something half decent here. I'm not seeing a bingo. Had I exhausted the floaters, I considered the D. Already considered E elsewhere. So I can't see a bingo with this rack. What about row A? Row O? What about getting the Z doubled? Zania, Zanies don't work. Zines doesn't work. So no, I've got ZEAS, 69 points. Wow, ordinarily that would be thrilling, but with such a fantastic rack, it would be nice to find something even better. Nothing beginning with opt. 11 minutes on my clock, which is loads. Zia's does set up row O for a bingo ending in S, but it couldn't end ES, which is a saving grace. Let me just consider the vowels in second place. ZAA no, ZIA no, so it would be ZEA, and that only takes an S from what I've got. What about a play in row O? Can I beat 69? Well, let's see what this scores, because this preserves my S, 59 points. Compared to 69. Decent rack leave, goes well with floaters like A, like C. I'm minded to take this score sacrifice. I feel the game is in the bag, even with a lot of tiles to come. 69 points. I'm dropping 18 points. Well, the S is worth 10 to 12 of those, so even if this is inferior, it's not massively so. I'm going with this. Am I? Only 2 E's to go. I've just noticed I could play Zaire, sticking the Z out one more. That would score 3 more points, but I think the E's worth 3 on this rack, and there's only 2 to come. Wow. I draw the second blank, and I'm glad I kept the E. I have no other vowels. Let me count the remaining vowels. 12 out of 29. Okay, vowel dry. Nothing goes after this U. I'm looking for QU spots. Torially U is in the open, but the H isn't helpful. What if I use the blank as a U? Do I have a bingo? Looking at the A, looking at the E, not seeing one. And this, wow, 3 U's in the open, but none of them suitable for the Q. So, wow, this rack is so bingo-y apart from that Q. Can I just jettison it for whatever score somewhere? And I'm looking at the I's on the board. Oh, wow, 40 points for opponent. That's a lot. Well, I'm not seeing any QI spots. 3 I's to come. Do I do something about this EX spot? It's pretty hot. What goes in front of a go that I've got? Just the S. So the best I can do here is lest. 33 points. I think it's worth doing. It takes out column 1. It preserves the blank. There's still a U to come. There are still 3 I's to come. It offers nothing. And if I don't go in this spot, opponent could score a decent amount. Slightly galling burning the S, but still 2 to come. I am going with this. Great, I draw one of those S's. I draw an I. So where are the QI spots? There's QI and HI. There's QI and AI. Onto an H, I would have feek. This H not quite available. So it's not great for the Q. I can play QI, but I'm retaining a very consonant heavy rack, including the non-bingo-y F. That's still pretty comfortable. Through an A, I would have cat. A of avoid has been taken out. Ah, caddy through AD. Interesting, I suspect. No, I did not have that last go because I didn't have an I, but I do have it this go. Opponent, wow, putting on a late scoring show. 32, 40, 70. Provides a cat spot for more points, and this is a bingo floater. 10 tiles left. Is this the play? I could play chin and KI. But this is surely the play. It scores most and it preserves a vowel. I am going with this. Great, I draw a second blank. Now, is this good enough to bingo? Where are the lanes? There's the D of patined and the C of cup. This rack plus a D. Nidifies, but doesn't work with an R. Is this E available? Not really, only with the D. So how about the C? It could end IC. Wow, how galling. So what have I not looked at? There's the U of avenue. Unifiers would work if that was 1 to the left. Nothing goes in front of opt, so that isn't a bingo lane. Nothing goes in front of henge. 36 points, more scoring from opponent. And opponent takes out the D. So that 4 tiles in the bag. Just the C, and C and F don't go well together. I don't have forensic. 7 minutes on my clock. I'm minded to have a quick squiz for a bingo. So this rack plus a C carnifies with an E. Not seeing anything so far. Finisher with an E and refinish. So this rack plus a C. CK is good. In firms is a 7. Are there really no 7-letter lanes? Alas not. That's nearly forensic, but it's not. Frantics, if the I were an A, and if Frantics was good, which it isn't, it's Drastics. That's Unifiers with an E. Viniferas through E and A. No, 5 minutes on my clock, so 4 tiles left. I'm really looking to play off IF and possibly open a new lane. But that may not be possible. I'm sure I can play off I and F, but new lanes look pretty unlikely. I'm not seeing anywhere that I can create one. But I have IF down here, so I really am looking at opponent leaving this C alone. If for 20, can I do better than that? No, I don't think so. I am I? I have fur and chi, but that's for less. Yeah, I am going with this. Wow, I do now have forensic in the top row with the blank as an F. Is opponent going to block that? No! Plays sin for 29, empties the bag. I have forensic. I also have foreign sec, which is a bit fancier, for 80 points. And the final score. 316 for opponent, 551 for me, a winning margin of 235 points, so a huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. It's great to win, but sometimes you just win by these ridiculously big margins and you just wish that some of that margin was available on the games you narrowly lose. However, always good to win. So my opening rack, thought about jails. Jolt's also available. Preferred to take the lower score with the much better rack leave. Opponent plays venue, and here we go. I have a 90-point bingo. Opponent plays BAP, and now just a dream pickup. And I have Patine for 80, but 86 available. Oh, there was a play underlapping BAP. J4, platted because of Jai, AIT. That would have been nice. 86 points. Oh, wow, horrible rack for opponent. Changes. And I played Toruli. Rochely, well, may or may not be good. I depended on the T for opt. And then out glare through the G for 70. Wow. Fortunately, I spotted one of those. Now, opponent plays mange. I have a 190-point lead Wide-ish, that's nice, A14. Well, nice score. What do I do? Yeah, I play Whig for 22. Interesting, Wideish burns the S, which accounts for 8 to 10 of the 20-point difference, so these moves are 10 points apart after taking the S into account. But the W is next to this triple word square and is available for plays in row A and column 15. Does that account for 10 points? Possibly not. However, it will account for some, so I think these moves are close. Opponent plays cup. And N9. Oh, interesting. I could have played voids for 44 and manged. I think I looked for plays with an S after mange, but of course D goes after it as well. So a void for 27, nothing like as good as... Well, voids would have scored 16 more points, or 17 more points, but burning the S. So again, the S is worth 8 to 10, so those moves not massively far apart. Opponent plays henge. D1, airy. Okay, what do? I play yoni for 20. Is airs 10 points better than iOS? It's going to be close. S is good, 8 to 10. I, fairly neutral, but O drags it back, so this could be a 6 or 7 point, possibly 5. Because any vowel drawn is going to massively damage this rack leaf. So iOS could be +5, but AIRS, I would say between 15 and 20. So yes, I think there is a 10-point difference. Now, this is where opponent begins their charge. Fantastic spot of Lametta. My rack. No bingo, but Zari's available for 80. Wow, what do? Zari for 51, 29 fewer points. Ouch. This very play just 2 to the left and with an S on the end. Okay, that would have been a better play. Now, fortunately, I still lead by 200 points. Opponent plays Coxer. And I have Lest for 33, which I like, despite hanging on to the queue. Now, opponent plays Keybar. And I play Cat for 24. Yeah, and I like that. Vowels are important in the end game. What was the alternative? QIS? Well, there are 2 I's to come, so sticking a Q above this triple word square I don't think is a great idea. And opponent does have this rack, so could have played if instead. Plays wins. Now, 4 tiles left. No bingo for me. If O11. Well, that was my play. Opponent sitting there with reunify. Nowhere for it. Plays sin. And here we go. Forensic, foreign sec, sermonic, all in row A. And then 1 square to the right in source for 60. And that was the end of the game. So, wow, what a wild one. Over 550 points. So absolutely amazing stuff. The tiles just flowed. And, well, opponent did have a late charge, but unfortunately for them, it was from a situation of being 200 points behind. So did not get within breathing distance of me. So super exciting stuff. Many thanks to opponent for a good game. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.